just want you. I came in like a wrecking ball.
Hey adventurers, so the new 790 Adventure R and Adventure Standard has the specs have been released along with Yamaha's T7, which I was pretty excited about both. I was really hoping that Yamaha would be good, but it's not quite cutting the mustard for me. 210mm suspension travel on the front, 200 on the rear. That's not enough. I don't think that the 220 on the 1190 is enough. 240 ground clearance on the T7 compared to 250 on the 1190, so it's a little less ground clearance. Similar seat height, 890 on the 1190, 880 on the T7. And the wheelbase, 1580 on the 1190, 1590 on the T7. So it's longer wheelbase than the 1190. Longer wheelbase, less suspension travel, and lower ground clearance. That is a long bike. A 16 litre fuel tank. I know they've said 350k range, which doesn't sound bad, but you know, I want as much range as possible. I'm often finding that the 400 kilometre range is, you know, it's only barely enough on the 1190 as it is. 205 kilos wet, that's a good weight. I don't think anyone should really be complaining about that. I know people were hoping that it would be a 690 weight, you know, a KTM790 weight on this new Yamaha, but you're not going to get 150, 160 kilos, 150 kilos. You can't get that low and have an adventure bike that you're trying to compete with the bigger bikes. So I think 205 kilos is nice. I'd be happy with that. Yeah, so 210mm suspension travel, 43mm forks. I don't know, it's smaller. It seems small. It's more like the touring option. And saying that, the 790 Adventure Standard has 43mm forks with 200 suspension travel front and rear. So yeah, for, you know, pretty much on the tarmac, maybe a bit of gravel road, I guess it's fine. But you know, I really was hoping for something a bit more hardcore. So along comes the 790 Adventure R, 240mm travel front and rear. That's, you know, it's getting better. It's not 300 like a motocross bike. 263mm ground clearance. That's 13mm more than the 1190. 880 seat height, 10mm shorter than the 1190. 1528 millimeters wheelbase. That's 60mm shorter than the 1190. It's, you know, sounding good. The shorter the wheelbase, the better it handles. The more quickly it handles. You know, less lazy it is. You know, a bit tighter turning in the bush. 20 litres of fuel, and they say 450k range again, so that sounds good to me. And again, another 205, maybe it's 206 kilos wet weight. They have advertised it weight without fuel, so 189 plus fuel, so about 205, 206 kilos with 20 litres of fuel in the tank. The air filter under the seat, easily changeable. Oh, genius. It looks like the air intakes are actually sort of coming up from behind the seat there somewhere. I can't quite work it out from the photos. I'd really like to see one in person. But it does mean, you know, river crossings, I guess you're limited to about 800mm deep. You probably don't want to be going through something even remotely that deep. But as long as you're moving forwards, you know, that airbox should not see water. Yet to be proven. I'll prove that in the future. 320mm rotors on the front. You know, that's good sort of road bike stuff compared to 282 rotors on the Yamaha, so they're a bit small. I really like how the fuel is slung low, a bit like the old 990. The old 990 I did always think was pretty wide at the base. I guess this thing is going to be the same. Yet to be proven how that handles, you know, deep full drive wheel ruts and things like that, whether that's the first thing that gets you stuck. You know, usually it's the pedals, the foot pegs jam into the dirt on the sides. You know, is it wider? I don't know, probably similar width, a bit hard to tell without being there in person. And I know people complain about electronics on bikes, but I love it. 9 levels of traction control. You can dial that thing just to be perfect for whatever whatever surface you're riding on. That sounds bloody awesome. Cornering ABS, can't complain about that. Cruise control as an option on an adventure bike, a small adventure bike like that, or what are we calling it? Medium weight, whatever. That sounds awesome, and the quick shifter as an option. Well, I think those two, cruise control and quick shifter, would definitely be going on my bike. So release mid 2019, maybe just before the mid-year. That's pretty exciting. The other problem, of course, with the T7 was late 2019 in Australia and Europe. It's not too bad for us, but those poor Americans, was at the end of late 2020, so it's going to be classed as a 2021 model. That's got a few people's backs up. I think that this 790 Adventure R is going to just tick all the boxes for me. It's enough power. It's that bit lighter, and it's a bit shorter. The weight is slung lower, and I think that it'll be quite a bit better off road than the 1190. I'm certainly hoping. Yeah, so if I do buy this 790 Adventure R in early to mid next year, whenever it comes out, April, May, June. I'm in two minds. I may keep the 1190 and loan it to people that want to come from overseas and come on a ride with us. Maybe a long weekend ride, maybe a week-long ride if you want to come from overseas and see. You want to get taken to the outback somewhere with myself, Tom, Mark, Brendan, whoever. I think that option. I would like to leave that option open. I may sell you the bike and then I'll buy it back off you at the end of the trip. That is certainly an option. Or maybe you just borrow the bike, come for a ride, and maybe you shout me dinner 1 or 2 or 3 nights while we're out camping. So I'm I'm seriously considering that as an option. Let's see how it goes. Let me know if that would be something you're interested in. The other thing that I did want to mention, obviously I put up my premiere from Googs, which was an hour and 45 minutes of raw footage. Obviously that's not for everyone, but some people really enjoyed it, and a few people have asked me to put up more from either that same trip or some of the previous trips. I will consider doing that. My internet sucks, that was a 21 gig file. It was at 24 megabits, I think. I think from fast moving footage you need something pretty decent in the megabit range. And it took me over 60 hours to upload. I was just praying that I wasn't going to have a power outage or something that would just kill it, or even any sort of internet dropout would have killed that for me. So anyway, stay tuned. We'll get some more videos up soon. I hope you're enjoying the channel. It seems like quite a few people are. And I enjoy making the videos, so I get pretty good positive feedback on. Keeps me happy. Anyway, see you around. Cheers.